Welcome to What's Left. I'm your host, John, here with Jake and Brad. We are the punk rock garage band of podcast, adding our voice to the resistance as loudly as we can here on the Derealization Nation Media Network. So let's start this thing with one of the many brilliant things that Trump has failed to come through on, and that is the economy. Pretty much everything that Trump has promised would happen hasn't happened, or has happened in such a catastrophic way as to be just almost laughable if it wasn't affecting all of our lives so much. The stock market is probably the perfect example, though. I mean, this thing is crashing. If, like he said, he was planning on interest rates coming down for him to buy things up, well, not this time, pal. When they fucking dart to the bottom and you all simultaneously start a trade war with every single fucking non-Russia entity in the world, people start losing confidence in the dollar and the bond market, and rates do not go down. Now he's threatening Jerome Powell. That's great for the economy. I don't know. It's just been a giant trash bag. I don't know. What sticks out for you guys with this failed economy stuff, though?
Obviously, the tariffs and the trade war is killing us.
Yeah.
No one can tell me that the trade war was good. China canceled their order of soybeans from America. They're not purchasing soybeans. So every small farmer across the Midwest that is growing soybeans and the expectations of selling them to China, that's dead. We talked about it a little bit in our last episode. That's dead. And he's not going to bail you out this time. Trump's not giving you the subsidies.
Truckers, that's also dead. The freight is down 40% to this country right now, something like that. There's nothing to haul. So that's already crashing. Small businesses, all of that stuff. They don't have
schools.
Yep. I mean, it's affecting usually when you have like a recession, like the effects start at the top and poor people don't feel it till closer to the election. But like this is like immediate. Like this is going to, I mean, it's already affecting regular folks, but like soon, like we're really going to see prices like jump up. It's bad when Fox News is actually admitting some of this. Like when they come out and be like, well, it does look like a lot of these prices are going to go up and maybe not come back down. I mean, that's the problem. Like the damage here is done. Like there's nothing that he can do at this point to make this better. What was it? $20 billion has been lost or something like that, Brad? Was that the number you gave me earlier today? It's like
they lost 1.5 trillion yesterday in the market.
Yeah.
But the cost of what these tariffs are doing to small businesses is like immeasurable, essentially. Yeah. Like these small companies are just going to fold. That's just all they're going to be able to do because they can't afford the tariffs.
Yeah.
Even if they pass them on to you, they don't have the ability to sustain an inventory to sell to you.
Right. Yeah, you can't plan ahead. You can't pre-order things. And even just stuff like packaging and little containers, shit like that. Like all that stuff's going up. I seen a video where a farmer was talking about how these little, I don't know, polyurethane spikes that he uses to like hold his tomatoes or whatever went from being like 84 cents a piece to $2.68 a piece, and he just like, and that I mean that's an obscene number to jump it up,
especially when you're working on thousands of plants.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when you're buying them in thousands and you're paying $2 more or $1.70 more per.
Anybody sad about Tesla?
No, income down 71% in the first quarter. Guys, we can do better. Don't stop there. 71% is a warm up.
I saw Nissan just posted, they did an ad and it was like, the tariffs won't affect us. And like we're bragging about how the tariffs won't increase the price of their cars and shit.
Good for Nissan. I see. Actually, like it's sad that like all this progress is going to be arrested because I've been seeing like some electric vehicles on the road that I'm like, oh, those are actually pretty sharp.
I really don't understand. So earnings came out today post market close. So I'm just assuming it's going to be a bloodbath. And it was not. Tesla is pumping in after hours, which makes no sense because it is literally a dead fucking horse. Like, people aren't just all of a sudden going to be like, you know what? Elon is a good guy. Like, that's not going to happen. We've crossed that bridge. There's no going back, Elon. You have made your bed. But for some reason, the stock was pumping. So I don't know if it's a planned sell-off.
Yeah.
Like, hey, it's got like the sell-off is coming, and these people are just getting in now. But the sell-off is coming.
Yeah, no, I'll be happy to be wrong, but I just things are so simple. They are exactly what you think they are. This administration is as corrupt as you think they are. It's a pump and dump. A pump and dump is coming as a little bit of financial relief to him, just like they pump and dump for these guys and their fucking billionaire friends not that long ago, just to give them some reward for fucking going out there and going along with what is straight up stupidity. It's just the dumbest thing that anyone has ever fucking done on planet Earth when it comes to the economy. Like, nobody has ever misunderstood global trade harder than Donald J. Trump. Like,
it's embarrassing.
It's beyond. But what's even more embarrassing than him being an absolute fool is all of the fools that support him. I mean, this is the worst April since 1932. 1932. As I recall, that was not a great year for the stock market in general.
Didn't go well.
No, not a great year for employment. Not a great year. Not something to aspire to. So that's cool. So that's where the fucking time machine is now. But he's got it up to 88 miles an hour, and we're just cruising back in time. Or we'll be fucking right back at the beginning of the Gilded Age before y'all even know it.
The tariffs are terrible for the economy. How he is treating immigrants, whether they be undocumented, whether they be documented, whatever they are, is killing the tourism industry. We haven't spoken enough about the people from Germany that vacation in Hawaii and were then detained without an interpreter and held because they were simply tourists vacationing in our country. So when people from Germany aren't welcome here, people aren't going to come here. Canada's not coming here to vacation. The people from Europe aren't coming here to vacation. It's going to kill the money we make from tourism in this economy, which is billions, hundreds of billions even. And we are throwing that away because of a terrible immigration reform by Donald Trump.
And it's terrible no matter how you fix it. Now when you look at it and you see where they turned down that bill, everybody's still talking about how it's about, well, he didn't want that. He wanted that for an issue for the election. And certainly he did. But that bill would have provided for a lot more judges, immigration judges, which is clearly not the point of this administration. They did not want extra judges. They wanted to get this thing done as quickly as possible. Now you see him making the excuse, well, how on earth will we ever give everybody due process? Well, you got to, bud. And this is just fucking. It's fundamental to our democracy. It's fundamental to human rights. It's like basic stuff, man. It's Magna Carta shit. It's not all that complicated. But yeah, it's just everything that he's doing. So if you wanted extra deportations, he's not deporting as many people. If you wanted less deportations, he's deporting all the wrong people. Like, he's not even they're so far off base. Most of the people the only evidence we're really seeing come out is evidence they got the wrong folks all across the board. They maybe got like 10 criminals. And that's crazy because previously in every other administration, we have sent thousands and thousands of criminals out of this country every year. No problems, no questions asked, no fucking injunctions needed. And now suddenly we are just sweeping people up off the street for no reason whatsoever. The Harvard professor with the frogs, did you hear about that one? He's going through customs with frogs for some very important cancer research. They imprisoned her because she forgot to claim them at customs. This is the level of fucking stupidity. in this administration.
Speaking of Harvard and colleges, today Trump announced that they would be able to garnish the wages or collect the federal tax returns of student loan borrowers that are in default, which is estimated to be roughly 5.3 million people that are currently in default on their student loans. If you take away the buying power of 5.3 million people in this country, it is in no way, shape, or form going to stimulate the economy.
No.
These people who aren't paying their student, it's not like they're not paying their student loans because they're out taking lavish trips and going on vacations. They're literally just paying their fucking bills.
A major piece of the success of the COVID economy, and I put that in air quotes for our listeners, is the fact that, you know, not only were there stimulus checks and extra money pumped into the economy, extra money was pumped in because of that exact reason. That exact reason, student loan payments were paused. So much extra money just from that alone pumped into the economy had this thing on fire, like on a dangerous level of hot. And you know, it just goes to show, like, nothing is lost by giving poor people money. Never. Giving people more money, more wages, however it comes to them, giving them what they have earned and put into this economy, is not going to hurt anyone, top to bottom.
I understand the complaint of people took a loan out and they should be paying it. I don't have an argument against that necessarily. I think that if you borrow money, you should pay it. I do not think that you should have to pay interest on obtaining an education to better your society.
No, definitely not.
That's insane that people have paid their loan off and they still owe their original loan because they merely just paid interest.
Yeah, and they're going after the different types of payment plans too that make it affordable for people who do not get the high-paying jobs that they were told that they could get, that they were expected to get, and that the Trump administration now is doubling down on never, ever, ever bringing into the country, because we're going back to making fucking shoes and clocks or whatever the hell he thinks we're going to be doing, but it's certainly not going to be a high-paying, college-educated job. It's going to be a job for dum-dums who want to have 1,000 babies. Like, that's pretty much all this.
Because Donald Trump is now offering, obviously nothing is in stone. This is just this man speaking out loud, but is now talking about they want to incentivize people to have children by offering them $5,000. Just for all of you that don't have kids, I want to let you know $5,000 doesn't even cover my kids' braces. So, like, I know what you're going to do with $5,000, but it wouldn't even cover my kids' teeth. So, like, I don't understand.
Childcare. Jake, do you know this one?
What?
It's like an average year of childcare in the United States.
Oh my God. Well, if you do like full time, so if you're doing like 5 days a week,
yeah,
that's like at least a couple hundred per week.
Yeah, you got to be looking between like 15 to 20 grand for the year.
Yeah. It's not cheap.
And he wants to eliminate Head Start. They want to cut Head Start.
They barely have enough teachers to work it because all the pay rate is terrible. I worked in that. The pay rate's absolutely trash for these young educators. It's so unfair. And usually most of them do it because they have kids of their own so they can get the free childcare. And that is enough to save their husband money enough that he can work and she can work this job and they'd be fine because they get free childcare. It's crazy, the amount of people who do that.
Yeah.
But they would rather work this part-time job, get free childcare, than have another full-time job.
Yep.
Yeah. But you can never convince a Republican of that, because for a Republican, everything is spending. There's no such thing as an investment. Whereas if you put just a couple of pennies into childcare every year and just allow people to have the childcare they need, how many more productive workers could you have? You know, how much more production could you get? And how much more money would they have to spend? You know?
Yep.
We don't think like that.
They want to create children to continue the workforce.
No, and literally it's as racist as it comes, because the whole thing is directly out of the Nazi playbook. They did the exact same thing, including the medal for 6 kids. That specifically is like something that Nazi Germany offered as well. I forget the name of it exactly, fucking, Kid Wafton or whatever the hell, some German fucking name, but he got a gold medal, like, of honor for having 6 Aryan babies, and that's essentially what the Trump administration is offering now too, a medal to anyone with 6 children. And they're also trying to eliminate non-white people from the country entirely, so you know who that's for. That's fucking crazy.
So that's the economy.
Yeah, so that's the economy, and more broadly, it's the trash bags. We thought we got a chance to rag a little bit about RFK because that man is a menace, but they are all fucking menaces. And this week's it's tough. Who do we start with?
Well, can I just say real quick, the people on Love on the Spectrum have literally come out and spoke against RFK's statements. Like, the TikToks are insane. Like, Danny and James, they've both posted, because they're both super political. Mm-hmm. And Danny has a master's degree. So she was livid. It's so good. You'll have to, watch it. It's really funny. She was mad.
I'll check it out. Good for them. Good for them, because it's unacceptable the way to have a government official talk like that at all, let alone one who's supposed to be in charge of.
Well, that's what heroin does to your brain, I guess.
No, I can't blame the heroin. I know plenty of really smart people who did a lot of heroin. It wasn't that. It might have been the brainworm. Could have been the.
Don't you go blaming fucking heroin, Jake.
No. Not that's the brainworm. Speaking of addicts, let's start with Pete Hegseth. This man came out, and it's now been revealed by his best friend and former staffers who have all quit on him, that he had a second Signal chat, just one of his own, a personal one. He had a corny ass name for it, but it was a family chat with Uncle Phil and Mom and just the whole fucking fam out there. And it was the same. These were documents that came from a classified computer. So there's clearly classified information being sent. War plans, almost exactly the same war plans, word for word, as what were shared in the one that Jeffrey Goldberg was so kind as to share with us in the Atlantic. So yeah, we start there, but then there's the defense, which is his defense of himself, which is even more ridiculous. And I think I'm going to play that video here.
This is what the media does. They take anonymous sources from disgruntled former employees, and then they try to slash and burn people and ruin their reputations. Not going to work with me, because we're changing the Defense Department, putting the Pentagon back in the hands of warfighters, and anonymous smears from disgruntled former employees on old news doesn't matter. So I'm happy to be here at the Easter egg roll with my dad and my kids, because this is what we're doing it for. These kids right here. This is why we're fighting the fake news media. This is why we're fighting slash and burn Democrats. This is why we're fighting hoaxsters. This group, this group right here, full of hoaxsters that peddle anonymous sources from leakers with axes to grind, and then you put it all together as if it's some news story. And when we know it, we know exactly what it is. So I'm really proud of what we're doing for the president, fighting hard across the board, and I'm going to go roll some Easter eggs with my kids.
All right. So let's start with you guys. What did you think?
Hoaxsters. It's fucking hoaxsters, dude. This is all just a fucking made up fucking witch hunt. Hoaxsters. I cannot believe that they keep fucking saying that. It gets so frustrating that they can just sit there and be like, they're lying.
Mm-hmm.
That's not true. And then people are just like, hell yeah, brother. Right on, dude. You would never do that.
Yep.
AI has ruined credibility.
Yeah.
Because now they can just be like, that wasn't real. It was made up.
Yeah. That's exactly it. They'll always be like, yeah, that true thing that happened that never happened.
Yeah,
that Rush thing was not a hoax. He was a sitting president. He couldn't be charged. You know what I mean? I don't know what your point is about Russia, Russia, Russia. To be honest with you, because that was real. So I don't know. Yeah, he's like, they should give back their Pulitzers for what? For what? You should probably, put down the sauce. Jake, what did you think of it?
Nothing really. It was just cringy. And then he had one sideburn shaved. That was what I hyperfixated on because I didn't want to listen to him.
Once you see it, you can't stop looking at it. It's crazy. This man is the fucking. Oh my god! You're a government official. Let somebody else cut your hair. Like, and Christy Nome, like, she gets robbed in public for her purse. Like, where is the
Secret Service? With Secret Service.
Happening? What is this? This is the biggest fucking dumpster fire of a shit show that has ever existed on the face of the earth. There's not a soul. There's not one fucking country coming to rescue this place. Yeah. Canada's out. China's out. Everybody's out. They're like, no, let that fucking place burn. They dug their own grave, and that's where we're at. And I can't blame him because, I mean, his voice just gets like that real high pitched squeaky sound, which is usually like a good call sign for innocence. You know what I mean? Like, that's usually how that works. Your voice usually breaks telling the truth. And staring deep into the camera and begging Trump for his job.
You're saying, nuh-uh. Nuh-uh.
Mom, he's lying. So his kids in the background were just fucking cringing. That was hilarious to me.
That was hilarious.
There's nothing like some teenage boys. They always say, like, we sent them to a liberal college and they got radicalized. No, they watched shit like that growing up, and they became
right.
I'm watching you, Dad. Oh man. The last thing though I want to say about this is like, everybody's like, oh, he's going to be fired for sure now, and everybody's pushing this narrative because I believe that's what they want to happen. I'm gonna tell you right now, personally, I don't think it's going to happen. That's the old times. You guys are still stuck in the old times. This is a guy who Trump has wrapped around his finger who would do literally anything that he wants, and this doesn't do anything but make him more loyal. So I just don't see it happening.
You think Trump's going to admit that he's wrong?
No, I don't.
No way.
Lots of pundits do, though. Lots of pundits out there, and because there's a lot of reports from inside the administration.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well. I think it's wish casting, to be honest with you.
Firing him would make Trump have to admit that he's wrong. He was wrong.
He's not wrong. Yeah, he's not going to be wrong until he's been impeached, imprisoned, or whatever the hell happens to him. Because, like, as long as he's in charge, he's not going to be wrong. That's not going to happen. Clearly. And look at these fucking tariffs. Cannot stop murdering the economy. Speaking of murder, J.D. Vance flew off to Rome this weekend.
That was one of the better segues of the show so far.
So he flies off to Rome. Pope won't meet with him first, sends number 2, says, listen, we're going to have a talk about compassion first. We're going to talk about, immigration. I thought that was beautiful. And here's a man who has put off his stroke for 48 hours to make sure that he could hear that message and then hear another message when his last address was all about kindness toward the poor and immigrants and all that. And then he finally met with JD, and that did him in. Fucking sad, man. What do you guys think of that? Was that...
The Pope's schedule was literally celebrate the resurrection of Christ, let JD Vance know that he's a piece of shit, and die. That was what he did on Sunday.
Chocolate buddies, fuck you out.
Yeah, I'm out of here.
Yep.
The Pope, with his last dying breaths, told JD Vance that he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the Pope. He's a cool Pope.
He
was the closest thing to progressive. The Catholic Church there are members of the Catholic Church that don't like him, that didn't like him.
Yeah.
Because he actually believed in showing the love of Christ and showing love to all. And they're like, we don't actually know about that. We don't like that as much.
No, especially not like the Americanized version, the Opus Dei crowd and the trad Catholics. Like, they really hate that shit. They really hate that shit.
Well, yeah, they're the ones that believe you can never get divorced.
I know the real reason he died. Do you guys know Trisha Paytas?
Yes.
Well, Trisha Paytas is once again pregnant. And the last time she was pregnant, the Queen died. And that her other daughter was a reincarnation of the Queen Elizabeth. And this one is going to be her new one. It's a reincarnation of the Pope.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I saw that on TikTok. I think that was pretty funny.
It's going around. And if you speak it enough, I'm speaking it.
If you speak it into existence, hell yeah.
The internet turned around and killed JD, though. That was
yeah, they are destroying that man.
They're still in the process as we speak of murdering him.
That meme I sent y'all the fuck Mary Kill It. It was just a couch, his wife of the Pope, dude.
Right there on the screen.
Yeah, dude, that's incredible. The internet's incredible.
For the listeners, it is Couch, his wife Usha Vance, and the Pope. And above each picture, it says "Fuck, Marry, Kill," which is just the simplicity is perfect. It's just straight to the point. It is the razor's edge of comedy, for real. It is just gorgeous.
One thing I know is that the internet never misses.
No.
The internet is undefeated every time, bro, and they're gonna kill you. It doesn't matter who you are. If you fuck up and it is known to the world, you're gonna get slandered for it.
And nobody deserves it more than him.
Couldn't have happened to a more deserving guy.
We got to take it home. We're running out of time. I don't want to leave Nancy Mace out there without a little bit of hate, though. Nancy Mace actually posted the video herself. This is the woman who is just, for those who don't know, is just constantly running around insisting on using the word, how do you say it? The T slur? What is that? Does that work? That gets the point across. But she says it over and over and over again. There's the video of her at a college where someone very politely comes up and tries to explain to her why it's offensive, and she just basically just repeats it over and over and over again. Basically tells the person to go fuck herself. So it's kind of funny though because
it's the plan. Why did she think the plan?
Yeah. She's still the college student took Nancy Mace's plan. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why. I mean, if you're watching the show, we played the video in that little space there. But if you're not, she's just standing there by the stage and just gives up trying to talk to Nancy Mace and takes her plant from her. So there's the new one is obviously the one in CVS or Walgreens, whatever it is. Appears to be some pharmacy type place. Where a man asks her if she'll be having a town hall, so she immediately turns on her camera and starts yelling at him and accusing him of harassing her, and which she does all the time. She's famous for just being like, "Hey, you're harassing me," and blah blah blah. She's a nutcase. But yeah, it was so bizarre that she decided this was a good idea for her to post this. She thought she was winning, and her fans do too. This is what MAGA thinks, man. This is what makes it all worthwhile. If you just own one lib, if you just let one man in 7-inch seam shorts walk out of the store confused, it is worth every $1 trillion that we lose in the economy.
Those were at least 5 or shorter shorts. 5-inch.
5-inch seam. Whatever.
We refer to them as Daisy Dukes, and Daisy Dukes are no longer than 5 inches.
Ah, okay. Well, they're also usually denim, are they not? I mean, every Daisy Duke ever wore was jeans.
Yes, it's not right in that. No.
Or former jeans.
He responded, though. Did you see his response?
No.
It's gotten a lot of love, too. He, literally says if you put half the effort you do into all this stuff, we wouldn't have the lowest education rate and blah blah blah. He went off on her.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. To her point about where were you last year? Listen, last year we were all just fucking relaxing. Like last year, the world wasn't on fire. Last year, we weren't getting swooped off the streets and fucking deported to El Salvador. So, let's not try to compare last year to this year, lady.
People were marching in the streets to polling locations. We thought that we were headed in the direction of progress.
Yeah. Now we have a fucking measles outbreak. Like, I feel like we're reading a fucking newspaper from like the 1910s. It's just like measles everywhere. It's crazy. I have no idea why people are like rooting for this, but they are. I guess it's because, like I said, as long as you can frustrate one person in CVS, you have accomplished your goal for the day. If you just own one lib, fuck your retirement.
Too busy owning the libs to realize I got to go back to work.
Well, thanks for being here. Thank you all for listening. Like and subscribe, please. Check us out on Instagram, Threads, TikTok, YouTube, and Substack. Until next time, I'm John.
I'm Jake.
And I'm Brad.
And that's what's left.
Nancy Mace, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah.